Great. Welcome to the third day of Indian Debating League training sessions. The theme for this tournament, or the third edition, is India's Odyssey, Ancient India to AI-led India. In the last two training sessions, we have extensively discussed what is the format, how is the procedure of the debate tournament will be held, and how to deal with motions, and what is a constructive speech, what is a reply speech, and how to ensure that you research well. I will be ensuring that I summarize everything before I go to mocks and practices. Note, how will I do mocks and practices is I'm going to take like two people within this entire Zoom room, and I will give you enough time to prepare. I will drop the motion in the chat box, and these two people can be anyone, and this can be like a draw that I make, etc. I will explain that a little later, but I will give these two people one motion, and one will be for the topic, and the other one will be against the topic. And then this motion will then be debated, and these people have to speak for 3 minutes main speech, 3 minutes reply, 3 minutes main speech, 3 minutes reply. This goes for proposition and opposition. Great. I hope we're clear with that. Yes, so Indian Debating League is powered by Oakley and IIT Delhi's Debating Society. Great. The theme is extensively divided into three larger sub-themes. This looks like understanding what ancient India was and how it operated. So you contextualize where we came from and how our culture and historicity has been evolved. This looks like understanding Harappa civilization, Vedic culture, Buddhism. Why have I written all of these keywords in these boxes? Is because your research gets really linear. Linear research actually looks like that you search this key term and you write extensively about what do you know about Harappa. You don't have to go deep down, because if you try to understand history from scratch, that's basically like three biggest of the books, and these three biggest of the books are generally like 1,500 pages long. So you don't have to intimidate yourself or just go so deep that you miss the debating notion of it. So how do you debate history and like evolution of India? You actually divide into sub-themes, try to generally understand what has been the trajectory or what has been the timeline. You don't have to know who was the king of Harappa back then in like 14th century or 600 BC, sorry. You just have to understand what was the characteristic of Harappa civilization, how was it, etc. Were people were able to access sanitation? Were people living like a good lifestyle, etc. All of these things, what did Buddhism offer to you? Was it like a meditative religion, or did it have some eightfold principles attached to it in the very first place? Second, medieval India. Medieval India is the second sub-theme, and this is where your research gets really evolutionized. What is evolutionized? It's basically how you move from point A, point B, point C, and point D. So medieval India conceptualizes the rise of Mughal period, and what is the architecture, how are Rajputs acting, and how has it been very different from let's say the Indian subcontinent, and how did it change or shape the Indian mindset, etc. I'll give you one motion. I'll just tell you one motion, what does it look like. Meanwhile, just like check the chat box. Ma'am, have you shared the motion? No, the motion hasn't been shared. We will be sharing it very, very soon. No, ma'am, hasn't. She'll share it later on during the meeting. Not during the meeting. The motion for mock will be shared, but the motion for the tournament will be released very soon. Stay updated. Ma'am, when will the topics be declared for the tournament? Very soon. The motion for the mocks will be released soon, which means like here, after I'm done with the explaining of the format once again, and then I will pick two people, and those two people will get enough time to prepare. Great. And the motion for the entire tournament, which looks like two prepared rounds, which means you will get like 48 to 24 hours, like, and also like 2-3 days, or maybe like a week later to sort of like prepare on it, etc. So don't worry about it. We will be releasing it very, very soon. Stay updated. Third is modern India. So modern India conceptualizes four aspects. First, how is the behavior of British colonialism towards the Indian subcontinent? Second, industrialization. what sort of changes did you feel when Indian subcontinent was divided into three sectors and we had like 5-year plans from like Nehruvian socialism, all of these factors, right? So primary sector, secondary sector, tertiary sector. Primary sector was agriculture, secondary sector was manufacturing, tertiary sector was more on towards like service sector, customer call, etc. All of these things. Thirdly, rise of technology. So if you look at Chat GPT, if you look at the rise of humanoid, and current issues, which looks like the G20 summit. Where are we like developing as a country? What is our GDP? How are we doing as a country? What sort of social issues our country faces? All of these actually come into modern India and how we are developing in the very first place. So if you look at the entire theme is divided very, very concretizingly into three factors. And I want all of your research to come to a timeline and come to a larger conclusion very, very soon. I'll just check the chat for yeah, I have not been added to the group yet. I'll make sure that you're added. When will the motion for qualifiers will be released? I just said very, very soon. Ma'am, when will the exact dates for qualifier debates come per person? It will be very, very soon, although the qualifiers will be held from 26th October to 7th November. Yes. I'm just asking to make sure that this is 1 versus 1, not team, right? Yes, it's 1 versus 1. Great. That's a wise use of chat box. I really like it. This is some like picturesque theme. So this also helps you be engaged. So you know where to research from and how to research. I want you to go through a couple of sites. I will just like name those sites. History TV. There are documentaries on India on YouTube. I also have like lectures by the great historians of India, freedom struggle and books, scroll.in, The Hindu, Times of India, and that's it. And if you read like NCERT textbooks, and if you try to read like editorial pages of Hindu, you might get a clear understanding of where modern India is. There's this one app that you guys can download, Napili. Download this app for knowledge. Yes, it's called Napoli. You can also down InShorts, but I don't trust InShorts a lot. You can trust Napoli more. Great. These are some of the important news channels that you can go through. Not exactly news channels, but like important sources where you get knowledge from. For international relations, you can check Economist, Guardian, Al Jazeera. You can also go to the New York Times. Note, anybody who starts their research from Wikipedia, that's absolutely fine. But note, Wikipedia is a very editable link. Like anybody can come into that page and be like, edit that information. So you can't really trust the facts on Wikipedia. However, you can really earn knowledge from Wikipedia. So start from Wikipedia if you want to like understand any topic, but you can probably choose any of the sources which I've listed down in the chat box to be much more authentic. You can also choose to use, let's say, wait, there was one more website that I actually found to be really, really nice. If I get to remember it, I'll just like share it. Yes, the Politico. Investopedia, if you want to understand finance and the economic condition of India. You can also go to Vox. Vox is for everything. Vox is general idea of all topics. Great. These are all the sites. Take a screenshot, write it down, do anything. The recording will be uploaded anyway. Great. Moving ahead with the format. I am repeating the format once again to ensure that everybody is on the same page. Ma'am, will the motions be given to the specific people or do we have to research in them, all of them? Note, motions for the qualifiers will be given to everyone. So like everybody will have access to it. But the motions for mock, I will go ahead and specifically announce it in the group as well, like here in the Zoom meet, so that everybody knows what motion are we really doing and which motion is done by the person. Yes, Pratham, before I move on, sure.
Ma'am, so regarding that, like during the qualifiers, will we be told for between suppose a person A and person B, this is the motion they'll be debating on, or a general bunch of motions will be given, and we have to search for all of them, and we have to pick any one motion before debating.
Yes, nice question. Note, there will be 3 rounds, 3 different motions, and 2 rounds will be prepared, which means you will be given those prepared motions way beforehand. And these are not bunch of motions. This is a single motion, and you will be preparing on it. And everybody sort of has the access to that specific motion. And you will be preparing on both sides, which means op and prop. And on the day of the qualifiers, you will be given an allotted a side, which means if you're proposition or if you're opposition. So you will be given the motion, you have to prepare on both sides, and then you will be speaking on the day of qualifiers when you're assigned a side. Third, which looks like impromptu round, is whenever impromptu round is you will be given a motion like 60 minutes before or 30 minutes before, and then you will be given like a preparation time for it. We will be releasing it very, very soon. Does that answer your question, Pratham?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, just one more thing. In the impromptu
Yeah.
round, while while we're researching, we will be told if we're op or prop, right?
While you're researching while you're researching in the impromptu round, no.
Yeah.
Like you will be given this side right after the motion release in an impromptu round. And when you're actually like done with your research, etc., on the day of qualifiers for the first 2 rounds, you will then be given your sides. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you.
Great. I'll take 2 doubts. K. Mitra first.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah.
I'm
Yes, go on.
Midras here. So, with prop reply and the opposition reply will be talking more about the proposition and opposition, or else we'll be replying the opposition speech.
Yes, were you there in yesterday's session, K. Mitra? I extensively discussed on what is the role of proposition reply and opposition reply. With the convenience of it, I will still repeat it. So proposition reply and opposition reply has the major duty of responding to opposition, which means your opponent, and then ensuring that you summarize everything that you've said in your main speech. It is divided into 3 aspects: introduction, body, conclusion. I would love if you can go ahead and watch the recording which was given in the group yesterday. Works? Great. Triti.
Yeah, just to be clear, proposition is speaking for a topic and opposition is speaking against the topic, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Amazing. Great. I'll look at the chat box. Ma'am, how will you add me in the group if you don't have my number? Anaya, just like personally, I personally text Devika your number and we will get you added in the group as soon as possible. Ma'am, will the motion be given? I will ensure that it is done soon. Don't worry about it. For motions, don't worry, don't panic. We will give you. For mocks, I'm going to release it very, very soon, post the format of instructions. Great. If no questions, I will be moving on to the format of qualifiers. Before that, just a second. So note, for Indian Debating League 3.0, the format is 1v1, which means you will have one person against one person. So first person is going to be called proposition, which means supporting the motion. On side opposition, you will have somebody who opposes the motion, which means negating whatever side proposition has been saying. So proposition is also called affirmative and government. Opposition is also called negative. Okay, so proposition, let's say the topic is this house opposes the rise of orange cult. Okay, great, I made it. So on proposition, you will oppose the rise of orange company. On opposition, you will say, no, we will support the rise of orange company. Works well with everyone. So proposition speech is divided into 2 parts. Similar is for opposition, 2 parts. Proposition has a main speech, which is called constructive speech. Opposition has a main speech, which is also called a constructive speech. Both the teams also have to give a reply speech, which is of 3 minutes. So 1v1 includes 6-minute speeches divided into 2 parts. The first part is called constructive speech. The second part is called reply speech. What is a constructive speech? Constructive speech is where you actually present the main material or whatever you have researched in front of the judges in the following format: introduction, body, conclusion. In your introduction, start with a quote, start with a statistic, start with a story, or start with anything that's extremely enrapturing in the very first place. Second is body. In the body, you will divide your entire speech into point A, point B, point C, or you can identify a larger question that you want to answer via your speech. So let's say, why do I want to oppose the rise of orange cult? Who is orange cult? What will happen if I oppose the rise of orange cult? So all of these questions have to be answered within your speech. And the reply speech, the last thing in a main speech is conclusion. Just flag everything, or just like make the judge understand whatever have you spoken for the last 2.5 minutes in the next 30 seconds. How do you divide time? Is like this. Or do you divide your time like this? 30 seconds introduction, 2 minutes body, 30 seconds conclusion. You can also divide it like this: 1 minute introduction, 1 minute body, 1 minute conclusion. But it is always advisable to follow this format where you have 30 seconds introduction, 2 minutes body, and 30 seconds conclusion. Spend a lot of time in explaining whatever your format or whatever your arguments are in the very first place. Great. What is the job of a reply speech? Reply speech is basically a responsive speech. You just have to ensure that you give a response to side opposition or whatever your opponent is by ensuring that you also summarize your material. So again, reply speeches are also like introduction, body, conclusion, but in your reply speech, you're more responsive to your opposition speech. But ensure that you also summarize your speech so everybody knows whatever have you done in the entire round and how much of a productive debater are you in the very first place. Great. I will stop here for 5 seconds and answer question. Ma'am, what to in reply speech? I already explained. So reply speeches are genuinely about summarization and ensuring that you break down your case from the opponent. Ma'am, so if I'm correct, you simplify and emphasize your main points in reply speech. Precisely. Ma'am, do we have to attend classes till 24? Today's the last session. Today is the mock session. So, in the upcoming sessions, we will be ensuring that we have more doubt clearing sessions and more practices. What is the difference in reply and first speech? First speech is constructive speech. It's your main speech. In reply, you can't bring anything new. Like you just have to ensure that you summarize everything. And it's basically a conclusion speech, I would say. So the rebuttals are in reply speech. Precisely for a proposition speaker, like reply speech becomes very responsive because, a proposition speaker hasn't heard like opposition in their main speech. So in the proposition reply, they actually respond to side opposition. But opposition can respond to proposition in the first opposition speech, which is the constructive speech. Does that work a lot? Great. Shaurya.
Ma'am, I wanted to ask, ma'am, should we prepare questions also that we can be asked? Sort of.
Yes. Good question. There are no POIs or there are no questions that you have to ask to the other team. You just have to create your main speech, reply speech. That's all. No
No, ma'am,
questions.
in the debate, if they point out some if they have said something wrong, so can we correct them
Yes, you
in
can
our
point it
speech?
out. Yeah. Great. Ahan, always raise your hand. I prefer that. I've been reiterating the rules for far so long. Great, Jyoti.
Yeah, so just to clarify, we can ask rhetorical questions to the opposition, right?
Yes, you can.
Okay, that's it.
Great. Ishanvi.
Yeah, so if you're if you're doing the proposition speech and after you have to prepare the proposition speech, and you have to also like predict what the opposition might say, and then you have to come up with a response to the same, right?
Yes, exactly. That's a wonderful strategy. So Shanvi sort of points out the correct thing. In proposition, you don't know what your opposition is going to say, right? So in your speech, you sort of like predict what will your opposition actually speak. So you also think from the mindset of a devil. So you just have to ensure that you predict the right way, but nobody can be as right, but you can generalize arguments from opposition. So ensure that you predict a lot. So your entire speech becomes very comparative. Great. Ahan. You are muted.
Ma'am, I've heard that in different forms of debate, there's like different formats. So what for reply speeches? So what would we have to do in the reply speech for WSDC?
This is not WSDC. This is 1v1. So the format of a reply speech is same as the main speech, but the main speech has more important material and reply speech is used for summarization and more responses and more weighing. So reply speeches will also follow the same format of introduction, body, conclusion, but it will be more towards proving that my side is stronger than my opponent's. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am. So basically, we have to like retell our points in a different way, like in a shorter, more understandable way, and also have to recall our examples.
Yes, it's basically your second chance to win.
Okay. So, okay. Understood, ma'am. Thanks.
Great. Shivarth.
Ma'am, like if I want to just reply, if I say good in the first speech, so we have to say the reply speech.
It is part of the format. You can't skip reply speech.
So in reply speech, we just need to oppose our opponents that they said.
And summarize and ensure that you make sure that you sway the mindset of judges. Be persuasive enough.
Like the third speaker in WSDC.
Yes. Great. Amazing. Shivarth is done. Lower your hand, Pratham.
Ma'am, so in a way to conclude, if you've like proved our points and reasoned them out to be better than the opponents, is it okay to conclude in a way by saying that our my points clearly outweigh the opponents? Is that a way of concluding?
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Great. Janvi?
Good evening, ma'am. I just wanted to ask you that, like, we'll get the motions like a day prior, and we'll get the sides on the day. We have to prepare on both the sides. Actually, I was not clear with it.
Okay. Reiterating this once again, there are 3 rounds, 3 different motions. 2 rounds are prepared, which means you will be given a motion very, very soon. It is not day before, it is neither 48 hours before. We do not want to make our students extremely panicky. We will be updating you with all the information very, very soon. We're just holding all the training sessions. So everybody is well equipped with what the format is and how you're supposed to research 1 month prior. We will be releasing and preparing the motions very, very soon and updating you with the schedule ASAP. So don't worry about it. Works well?
Yeah, thank you, ma'am.
And about the sides. So, in prepared motion, you will have to research on both sides. On the day of the qualifiers, when you join and log in into the Zoom meeting, you will be given your side. But you have to prepare on both.
Okay.
Works. For impromptu, you will be given the motion, you will be given the side, but you have to do everything on spot. Obviously, you'll be given a time to prepare as well. Yes, Agambir.
Ma'am, where will we be given the impromptu motion? Will it be sent in a
I
group or will
always
want to
needed to raise your hand and never, because I wouldn't be taking doubts anymore then. Great.
I want to ask you, when are the selections going to be held? Because I can't be present for 23rd to 28th.
Agamvi, can you repeat yourself?
When are the selections going to be held? 23rd?
For qualifiers?
Yeah.
From 27th October to 7th November. We will be releasing the schedule very soon.
Thank you. Because I would be absent from 23rd to 28th.
Sure. Don't worry. Great. Ahan.
Yes, ma'am. So, well, ma'am, where will they send where will they send the topic for the impromptu and the site? Will they send it on the group, or will they tell it to us in like the meeting only, and they'll give us an hour there only to make a speech?
On the main meeting link when you join after your second round. We will
Ma'am,
release the schedule, so you already know about it.
voice is good.
I am so sorry.
So we'll be given. So we given the. So we'll be given the motion for the impromptu round in that round in the meeting in that round's meeting only, right?
Yes. Great. Amazing. Cool. So note everybody is obligated to actually do all the rounds. Why? Because debating is an extremely encouraging and enrapturing activity because you get to know wider perspectives. I already told you the objectives of Indian Debating League and why do we hold these tournaments again and again on all of these editions in the very first place. We've also been introducing so many tournaments in wider states like 36 states, 8 union territories for so many years now is because we want to ensure we have a growth mindset in the students. Second, creative and reflective thinking. Thirdly, confidence in how do you make your expression much more acceptable and persuasive. And thirdly, ensuring like a high level of knowledge and more nuanced thinking in the very first place. Great. I will repeat the format for the convenience. 1 versus 1 format. Last time, proposition, 2 speeches, total time is 6 minutes, divided into 2 parts. So main speech is called constructive speech. Reply speech is called reply speech, 3 minutes. Similarly, for opposition, you will have 6 minutes total, and it will be divided into 2 segments, 3-minute constructive speech, 3-minute reply speech. So you will have proposition main speech, constructive speech, then you will have opposition constructive speech, then you will have proposition reply speech, and then opposition reply speech. Note, it is not the world's format, and people who have been doing World Schools Debating Championship or who have been equipped with Asian parliamentary debate, do not confuse it with this format, because then you will question that, hey, why is opposition reply going last when you have proposition reply going last? Note, this is like a different format where we introduce everybody from scratch. Ahan, can you not do that on screen? Great. And yes, this is the format largely.
Sorry,
Great. Yes, before that, I'll just like go and tell you what all the speeches entail. What is the job of a constructive speech? A constructive speech is a main speech divided into 3 segments: introduction, with a quote, with a statistic, with a fact, with anything that's highlighting and catches the attention of the audience, catches the attention of the people within your Zoom meeting, catches the attention of the judge, and you will be marked on 3 bases: manner, method, and matter. Manner is your style, which means what is your posture? Is your camera switched on? What are your expressions? Are you looking at your paper? Are you trying to copy from the internet? All of this is actually compiled into manner. You get 10 marks for it if you're perfect. Secondarily, matter. Matter is whatever you say. Like, what is the content that you're trying to bring, and what is the inherent knowledge that you've actually researched on in the very first place? What kind of motion understanding do you possess? Thirdly, in terms of ensuring that you have like method is strategy. Do you think you're following the proper structure of the entire format? This looks like, do you have an introduction? Do you have a body? Have you prepared like reasoning for your points? Have you ensured that you have examples? Did your speech actually make sense? All these qualities actually involve in the method rubric, and you get 10 marks for each. So you're marked on 30. Great. Now coming to what you have to improve in your constructive speech. How do you actually research? So you divide everything in theme and ask yourself questions, and then you try to answer it. Ask yourself rhetorical questions. What does it mean? Like, where can I probably improve this, etc. All of this can genuinely help you to become like a much more reflective debater in the very first place. Great. So note how to have a proper speech. So a format I've explained like yesterday. This looks like claim, state your claim, substantiate with reasoning, and give examples. state your claim is basically, let's say my claim is dairy products are unhealthy. Dairy products are unhealthy. No, can somebody give me a claim or any motion if you have in mind? I want to test if all of you are on board. Give me a claim, anyone? Okay, Dhriti, I'll take you.
Should guns be legalized?
Okay, that's I think fun. I'll take another though. I'll take from K Mitra.
Hi, ma'am. My claim is that books are better than television.
Oh, that's actually very comprehensible. Thanks, K Mitra. I'll be analyzing this. Books are better than television. That's my claim. Okay. That's actually my topic. It's not my claim. This is my topic. My claim is, let's say I'm proposition. Proposition. So, okay, avoid the spelling here. Proposition. So, I will say books are better. That's my claim. Books are better. Why are books better? I will take two reasoning. So, can somebody tell me why are books better? I will take Neil and then I will take Kiara. Neil, go ahead.
Ma'am, so first of all, in books, you do not need to strain your eyes like you need to while watching television. And secondly, books are, you can take them anywhere. And while watching TV, maybe the sound may go, or the video quality may not be that good. But whereas in the books, the pictures are always clear and the text is always clear for people to read.
Great, that was amazing, Neil. Yes, so Neil says no straining your eyes, which means healthy, widely accessible, which means you can take it anywhere. So the mode can be online, offline, anything. Yes, these are like nice claims. I'll take Kiara.
So books are not harmful for your health, and they are portable and they're more easily available than televisions or any electronic devices. Plus, they're more affordable than electronic devices.
Yes, that's amazing. So Kiara says the same thing. Like it's very transportable, which means you can take it anywhere. It's very affordable and like it doesn't strain your eyes. It's better for health, etc. So all of these points given by Neil and Kiara actually prove that books are better. So what is the difference between claim and reasoning? It's just that claim can't be without reason and a reason can't be without a claim. So it's like a very symbiotic relationship. You need to give a heading and then reason it out. So this is what you have to do. What can be a better conclusion, which means examples. Let me take examples. Give me an example. Why do you think books are better? Like real life examples work as well. I'll take Imad and Anaya.
I feel that some people just like the feel of books more than television, and some people are more suited towards books than television.
Okay, I think I needed more explanation of what that sentence actually had a conclusion towards. So, this can be true on either ways. So what is the logical end goal that we are trying to impact on? But yeah, decent point. Second was Anaya. Yeah, go ahead.
The display screens of the television also emit a harmful light called blue light. Like constant exposure to blue light over time could damage your eyes and cause vision problems like age-related degeneration. It can also contribute to eye cancer.
That's really amazing. Great. I will take people later on now. Great. I'm ensuring that everybody gets like an equal chance here. Please lower your hand. Great. So examples can be let's say the kite runner is 250 and a television is 50,000. 50,000. More people can afford books, which means more knowledge, as opposed to television, which is very exclusionary. A lot of people can't really watch television because of harmful radiation. So I really like the effort of you put like you predicting why television can be harmful. So you compared both books and television, then you told me why books are better. So you have to ensure that in your main speech, you're extremely comparing the two sides, why opposition is worse and why your government side is better if you're proposition, or vice versa if you're opposition as well. Great. So moving on, we have completed our clear understanding of one versus one format and qualifiers. Any doubt on the format? We can clear it out right now. Any doubt in the format? Has everybody gotten what the format is? Can I ask any one of you? Okay, let me just like pick a very, very random person. Okay. Yes, raise your hand if you want to explain me what the 1v1 format is. I will give you a chance to explain this format. Okay. I will take 2 people. So keep raising your hand if you want to explain the format. Okay, I'll take Nithilian and I will take Avantika. Nithilian, you go first.
Ma'am, 1v1 format is different from a group v group format because in a 1v1 format only one person is debating against another student, and in a group format students can discuss with each other and they can speak, but this discussing doesn't help the students to apply their full brain power and the knowledge. But in the 1v1 format, the students don't have any other partner to discuss with, so this helps to showcase their brain power, and it also helps them to increase their brain power and their knowledge.
Yes, that's amazing, Nithilian. Avantika.
So in this 1v1 format, the proposition will have to prepare 2 speeches, and similarly the opposition will also have to prepare 2 speeches. First, the proposition will go with their starting speech, then the opposition will go with their starting speech, then the proposition will rebut the opposition's point in their reply speech, and finally to conclude it, all the opposition will rebut the proposition speeches in their reply speech.
Great, that's amazing. Now, Milind, do you have a doubt or do you just want to say what the format is? Okay, please lower your hand then. Okay, now it's time for mock, which means I have 2 topics, which means I will be taking like 2 people for 1 round. And yes, you will have to volunteer. So anybody who wants to volunteer for this topic, please raise your hand. I'm gonna very randomly select people. And if you aren't selected, I will select you for the next round. And if you aren't selected for any, we have like a lot of training coming, like you can be a part of it anyway. Great. I see, like keep raising your hand so I know like who is interested and who want to actually prepare on this topic. So the topic for this mock is, I will be selecting 2 people and giving them sides. And I will be releasing the side as well after choosing the people. And then you will be given this topic and then you will have to prepare a 3-minute constructive speech. And then you will do the entire format. Great. Okay. You will get like 5 to 7 minutes of preparation, and during the time when these 2 people are preparing, I will be taking up doubts and I will explain what constructive speech, what reply speech is in more depth, so that everybody is very, very clear of what we are expecting and how do you want to proceed with debating in a much more nuanced manner. Okay, great. Whoever has not spoken in the past 3 days. Okay, Krisha, you're for proposition, and Janvi, you are for opposition. The topic is, should students have homework in primary school? Wait. Just take a screenshot, Janvi and Krisha. I hope you are aware now. Krisha is proposition, Janvi is opposition. Amazing. Your preparation time starts now, and I will see you exactly after. Shall I give you 5 minutes? I will see you in the next 5 minutes, 7:20 sharp. Great. Don't worry, you will get like enough time to prepare in your tournament. I'm just giving you a live exposure of how to be like quick at thinking, critical thinking, all of these aspects. People who have not like chosen I will select you, don't worry about it. Lower your hand, lower your hand. Great. Right. Just for Krisha and Janvi once again, on proposition, you will have to say that yes, school students should be given homework in the primary school. It is up to you, whoever you want to put in primary school. Opposition, you will have to say no, students should not have homework in primary school. Amazing, great. Now let me explain constructive speech and reply speech. I hope you understood that there are 3 things that you always have to remember in constructive speech: introduction, body, conclusion. Let me take a motion and we will start discussing it. Okay, the motion is teachers should be replaced by AI humanoid, sorry. AI bot, okay. Great. I will first discuss proposition. Looking for arguments now. Raise your hand if you have claims and reasonings for it. The topic is in the chat box and the side we are discussing right now is proposition. Great. I can see 3 hands. Okay. I will take Kiara and then Shanvi. Kiara, go ahead.
Teachers should be replaced by AI bot because AI bots
Yeah, keep on going. Okay, no worries. I will take all the hands, Okay, so Shanvi, go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. So, ma'am, according to me, teachers should be replaced by AI bots because teachers are also humans, and sometimes they get they have so much work loaded on them, and then they get burdened by them and are unable to have a personal life. So they should not be exactly replaced, but yes, they can be helped by AI bots.
Oh, that's amazing. Workload balance. Workload balance. More focus on personal life. Okay. Thanks, Shanvi. Lower your hand. Neil.
Yes, ma'am. So these AI bots can help because they may have more knowledge and information than teachers, and they can also teach the teachers.
More knowledge. Okay. Nice point. Nathilian.
Ma'am, I think AI bots should not replace the teachers because the teachers, as the children, are humans, and if they are surrounded by AI bots, they might not. School may not feel like a very safe environment as AIs can always make mistakes and they may malfunction and do something wrong. Well, the teachers, they are humans, so the students can be in a safe, can feel safe in the school environment, and teachers also can also correct the students and help them help the students which are studying well and the students which are not studying well, so that they can improve their knowledge. So I think that the AI bots should not replace the teachers.
That's a great opposition point, I would say. And I think this is a great rebuttal that you can do in opposition main speech. I like it. Ahan.
Oh, ma'am, the students are already doing like a lot of studies in school, and school itself lasts a very long time. So always meant to be the time that the students get a break from school. But if the teachers give students homework, there'll be more studies on top of the already lots of studies that they already did in school. Like, so wouldn't it give them headaches and all that? It'll put them under a lot of pressure. And if that keeps on happening, it can be enough to make a person just like crack.
Okay, so the motion that you actually did was in the slide, but the motion that we're actually doing is in the chat box. So the motion that we're actually doing right now is, should teacher be replaced by AI bot and not the one in the screen? Because I've already sent 2 students in the preparation room. Great. Yes, I'll move on.
Ma'am, I still know one actually.
Yeah, okay, I'll take you later. Thanks,
Ma'am, I
Aman.
still know
You
one.
can
Sorry.
lower your hand and mute yourself. Thank you so much. Great. I will be moving ahead now. So yes, all of your points actually made sense because teachers can be replaced by sorry, AI bot because of couple of reasons. First, I think teachers have to do a lot of manual job. This looks like editing your marks, trying to check assignments, and the primary responsibility of every teacher is to teach and be extremely focused towards preparing students for the examination that happens outside life, outside like school as well. So it's very important for you to keep teaching. So if you improve the quality of learning by teachers by making sure that the AI can do Excel work, the AI can do manual part of the work, I think teachers have enough time to like instruct students in a much more highly qualitative work. Secondarily, I think AI bots genuinely help you with more knowledge and they are much more stable. Oftentimes, teachers might have like a sad mood. They might be happy. They might be angry. So it might reflect in the quality of teaching that they're doing. So let's say if you have an AI bot, you will experience the same amount of learning every day. And AI bot can't really get angry, can they? AI bot can't be really sad, can they? So, AI bot is really, really not emotional at all. So they can really help you teach better with the help of like constant like learning simulations, etc. All of these factors. Yes, ma'am, when the class be ended in the next 30 minutes. Great. So, more focus on personal life, workload balance, etc. So all of your points are nice. I just want explanation for every claim that you actually give. If you say more balance of work, what do you mean by more balance of work? So always try to have an answer for what, why, where, how. Always ask yourself these questions when you actually start preparing a motion from scratch. Great. Now I'll be bringing people. So Krisha and Janvi, are you ready? Okay, I sent you to prepare. Okay, Krisha is ready. Krisha, you have proposition, right?
I just need a little time.
How much time?
5 minutes.
5 minutes is a little okay, sure. We can cut it down. Try to like let's be impromptu. Even if you make mistakes, it's like a learning space. Don't worry about it. Does that work well? I'll just give you 3 to 4 minutes. Does that work well?
Okay. Okay. I'll take 3 minutes.
Yeah, amazing. Janvi?
Yes, ma'am. I'll also would like to take 2 to 3 minutes.
Okay, amazing. Yes, let's discuss one more topic meanwhile. Let's discuss opposition now. Okay, yes, opposition, inviting opposition. Teachers should not be replaced by AI. Teachers should not be replaced by AI. Inviting opposition claims. Okay, I will take from people who I can see on the screen, I will take everybody now. So first, Neil, try to be short, very precise, try to give reasoning and try to prioritize your argument.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, so the love that teachers give to the students when they're teaching cannot be felt by AI because they don't have emotion. And teachers always plan activities for the students to do, which AI may not be able to do.
Yeah, exactly. So teachers and the kind of connection that you have is because students are not robots, right? Students are still humans, and you always want somebody who actually comforts you, who actually gives you solutions for the kind of problems that you're facing. So teachers are like mothers and their guardians who actually help you with all the obstacles that you face with life, which is why they're called like second parents or second guardians. Nice point, Neil. Imad?
Yes, ma'am. I would also want to elaborate on this connections point. Real life teachers form a connection with the students, which is very important for the students to learn the information correctly. But an AI which has no feelings will not be able to establish this connection, and therefore a student will not be able to learn all the information which is given by the AI.
Yes, that was amazing. Ahan, as long as you're done with your, let's say, point, you can lower your hand so I know who I have to pick next. Ahan?
Ma'am, I think that the bond that you have with the teacher and student is irreplaceable. Like when the student, like when there are fights in school, that in the class, the teacher is the one who breaks it up. When a student is sad or angry, the teacher comforts him. But would a robot be able to do that? Like, because they don't have emotion, they're just there to teach. They've not been programmed to take care of people. Okay, they're not programmed to comfort people. So and the student wouldn't really have a bond with the robot. So that student wouldn't really have a bond with the robot. The bond is very important with the teacher student.
Yes, that was amazing. Thank you so much. Yes. So, teachers are basically better decision makers because they have like higher level of cognition. And if you look at the working of AI, it is basically working with the human operatives. So a human has to like provide a chip, etc. All of these things. Great. Ishanvi?
Yeah, so the AI bots won't be able to solve doubts of the students like teachers can. So if a student has some particular doubt in the subject, the AI wouldn't really understand what they are asking. And I don't think that the level of AI is that much so that they can help the student understand the subject.
Yes, that was really nuanced. Thanks, Shani. Dhriti?
Yeah, so I think that honestly, like AI is just not up to the level where they can probably take over teaching. Teachers have a really important job where they not only connect with the students, they also like they have it that way students can see that they're having a bad day, They can see life has ups and downs. And they can't just connect properly.
Hello. Yeah, I am done.
Yeah, okay. Thank you so much, Riti. I will take one more. Let me take Abhyuday. Okay, makes sense. Yeah, you can go ahead. Rest all
Yes.
of you, please lower your hand.
So if you ask any question to the teacher, they will answer it very clearly and in detail, and they will also explain everything in detail.
Yes. So, teachers are generally understand the kind of mindset that all students have. So, nice effort. Great. So, okay. So, Janvi and Krisha, are you ready?
Yeah.
One thing that I want you to do is switch on your camera if you can.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
That's amazing. So, Krisha is proposition, Janvi is opposition. I hope you guys can at least try to speak for 3 minutes. 3-minute main speech, then Janvi 3 minutes, then on reply you will have to say 3 minutes, and then on opposition reply 3 minutes. Okay, can we try this? Amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Love your enthusiasm. Clap. Okay, so yes, Krisha, whenever you're ready. So first, opposition speaker, here.
Okay. Should I start?
Yes.
Nothing is more powerful for your future than being a gatherer of good ideas and information. That's called doing your homework. According to me, yes, primary children should have homework every day, and it helps preparing the student better for tests and exams. However, allows the student to revise classroom learning and builds the habit of self-study. It also encourages the children and also enables time management skills. It also boosts the scope of knowledge, and also helps the children to go depth in the in all the matters. Lastly, I want to say that the homework also encourages people, and also the homework teaches students to be responsible. Thank you.
Thank you, propositions constructive speaker, for that fine speech. Inviting the opposition constructive speaker whenever you are ready. Here.
Ma'am, may I commence?
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed adjudicators, today I stand before you to advocate for a change that I believe can greatly benefit our primary school children. I firmly assert that children should not have homework in primary school. This topic is crucial because it concerns the well-being, development, and happiness of our youngest learners. First and foremost, it is important to understand that primary school children are at a delicate stage in their lives. They are just beginning their educational journey, and their minds are like sponges, eager to absorb knowledge. These young minds need time to play, explore, and develop their creativity. Homework can encroach upon these vital experiences and cause unnecessary stress. Moreover, excessive homework can lead to burnout and decreased interest in learning. We should be fostering a love for education in our children, not overwhelming them with assignments that might make them resent school. This is particularly true when considering that primary school is a time when social and emotional development is paramount. Homework can take away valuable family time and extracurricular activities, hindering the holistic development of a child. I firmly believe that homework is very important, but we cannot ignore the fact that it can be harmful for young minds. Their age is the only age where one is free from tension and stress. For proving my point, I have a real life example that once there was a child who was in primary school. He was really good at studies at school. He was one of the brightest minds. But once he got a lot of homework, he was not able to do it as he was so young. He hesitated to ask his elders because he didn't have knowledge about it. So, because of it, he committed suicide. What a harsh reality it is. So, save the young minds. Let them explore because it is the age. Homework should not be given just when the students are developed well. After all my strong points and a real life example too, I believe that this motion is in my favor. Thank you.
Thank you so much, opposition constructive speaker. Inviting the proposition reply speaker. Krisha, are you ready with your reply speech? We are completing the whole cycle. So yes. Okay. Does anybody else want to do a proposition reply speech? You can raise your hand as well. Neil, do you want to try proposition reply speech? Okay, amazing. You can start.
Yes, ma'am. So children may need time for their extracurricular, but they also need time to grow their mind. They should absorb more knowledge by doing homework independently. By doing homework, it can allow them to enhance their self-management skills, which can also play an important role in many sports.
Okay, thank you, Neil, for that fine proposition reply speech. Inviting the opposition reply speech. Where did Janvi go? Yes, Janvi, speak again.
Okay, so in my reply speech, I would like to first present some rebuttals, of course. So we say that we need time. Time is the thing. It goes on. It doesn't wait for us. It just goes on. So I think primary age is the time for everyone that they can just explore around. Because see, if we talk about exams and all, then they are definitely gonna be in future when they are gonna be positions. We all have to apply for different exams, whether they are in debating or UPSC or whatever not. So I don't think we should just take test or exam like preparation for test and exam. That is not a right motion to take in the case of primary students, because they are in the primary age and I don't think they have any test, or even when they have, like they just do it in school, they just manage it at school. Okay, and then sports. What comes of sports? Like sports and study are two different things. I think that a different aspect of a coin. So self-management. A student learns self-management when he or she learns time management. Time management is what, like, homework is not only a thing to revise what we have done in school. We can do it ourselves because they are mothers. As you know, mothers are the second name of gods. So mothers can just help the children. Homework, as I have said in my example, clearly states that homework is a burden for the primary children, not for the elder ones like us, like we are in 6th, 7th, 8th, as in this batch. It's not burden for us because we can do it ourselves, and we know that if we are not able to understand, we can ask our teachers, parents. So it is very simple. But for the primary students, I don't think they know that they need to ask they might get a burden that what their parents will think, what their teachers will think. What about that? And that's why in that example, that boy committed suicide. Like, that is a really big step. Like, students take that, what condition of a mother will be there, like a family. A mother have so much things that she wants her child to grow, to be a well-being in the society, but what about her? What about the family who cares about the child? It is such a big step. But just because of homework, I know we don't take such big steps because we are grown-ups and we know that what we have to do. But what about the primary children? They don't even know what is life. They just think study is life. I know they independently, they should be independent. But don't you think it's a really small age to be independent? Yes, one should be independent. But at that primary age, one needs the support of parents, the support of family, the support of teachers, and the support of definitely of studies. The time. Time, like what? Exploring needs time. That teaches time management. Playing needs time. That teaches time management. Spending our time with families, that teaches time management. Everything teaches time management. What about homework? Like, why we just need to drag homework in this? Like revision, then the main point that was highlighted was revision. Revision can be done without homework if a child wants. And homework is not that if someone wants to do homework, then only he'll do. Like, it is our choice to do. Especially primary children, it's their choice to do. If they want to do, then they'll do. And that's the same in the case of revising the work. Like, if they want to revise, they will revise. So homework and revision are both the different things, but they mean the same, as if helping the children to scope more for knowledge, because knowledge, I know, is very important. But do you think in that small age, homework is the only way to provide knowledge? He or she is studying in school, he or she is revising at home. What is the need of homework? So I firmly believe that at primary age, the children should never get homework. But when we are like grown-ups like us, or like fourth, fifth, or third maybe, they should get homeworks. Yes, because the concepts then just change around. Till UKG, I don't think the homework should be there, because till that age, the child do not know about what is like science, maths, history. It's us. We need homeworks because we have exams. They do not have tests or exams. So I firmly believe that this motion is in my favor, because I have presented all the rebuttals really well, and even my points.
Thank you so much, Janvi, for that fine speech. Great. So, this is how you actually proceed with a 1 versus 1 format. You will, because Krisha faced some network issues, because of which she wasn't able to continue with the reply speech, but there's only one person who gives like a main speech and then a reply speech. So you now understand how to provide an extensive reply and a main speech in the very first place. Try to have 3 things. A, clean structure, which means if you're trying to explain point A, stick with point A and do not go to point E and F. Second, try to ensure that you have a claim, which means the heading of your argument. Explain this heading of the argument at least like 3 to 4 sentences, which is why I really loved the extensive argumentation which Janvi was able to provide in the very first place. On-site proposition, one thing we needed to improve was length of argumentation. Like, you can't get away with asserting argumentation. You always have to explain the reason and the logic behind those argumentation in the very first place. And thirdly, ensure that you have clear examples which help provide a much more relatable platform for the audience to be like, yes, I have also faced this in objective reality. All of these things actually make you like a convincing and a persuasive speaker and can give you high marks in manner, matter, and method. Yes. So let me discuss what we had arguments on side proposition. And if you do pass the limit, will they stop you? So, there's a timer. So I did not share the timer because I have a slide already. So, if you cross the time, you will not be negatively marked, but it is very, very important for you to stay within the time. Do not give a 5-minute speech when you're given a 3-minute time limit in the very first place. Yes. Below the time limit, will points be cut? No, there is no negative marking. And do you have to stop accurately 3 minutes, or is it allowed to go 20 to 15 seconds above the time limit? Yes, you can go 10 to 15 seconds above, but don't go 50 seconds above. If you pass it, will they deduct points? Great. Yes. Everybody stay muted. Pratham, stay muted. Okay, great. What we had arguments on-site proposition was 6. First, it improves learning if you have given homework to a primary student, like it helps you revise. Second, increases time management in students. Thirdly, it practices or helps you basically get clear ideas of what your concepts are. Fourthly, it helps you prepare for future because you now get to understand what like a workload is, how do you want to manage all assignments. Fifthly, teachers can help in areas of improvement and give critical feedback. Sixthly, parents can keep a check on progress of the child and they can also help understand where is my child lacking, etc. All of these things. Yes, arguments for opposition can look like this. This is what your preparation sheet should look like this. I'll take that down, Dhriti and Krisha, a little later. First, it always gives stress to small children. Like you do not want to give them like overburden them at all points of time. Second, children are too young to get heavy homework and do it themselves. So it's always important for them to get all of their doubts sorted in the classroom as opposed to carrying it forward with home and then they are like stressing it all, etc. Thirdly, lack of free time, family time, play time, and extracurriculars. I hope you've all heard this quote that no play makes Jack a dull boy. It is something that is very inspirational from this entire argument. So, you also have to spend a lot of time trying to play, trying to ensure that you have a gala time with your friends and, dedicate your time, maybe taking a hobby which you are very unfamiliar with. This looks like swimming classes, dancing classes, gymnastic classes, chess classes, etc. Fourth, no time to explore interest. If you burden the students with homework, they will now be engaged in completing the projects and they will not be able to focus on their extracurricular activities and developing their personality. Fifthly,
everyone, please stay on mute. I think some of your devices are on unmute. Thank you so much. Kaushiki, please continue.
Great. Yes, ensure that you are on mute at all points of time. I do not want other people compromising on their sessions. Right. Fifthly, can lead to academic burnout. Can somebody explain me what academic burnout is? Okay, I'll take Dhriti.
I think academic burnout is basically when you just have too much. It's like you just keep on studying. It's just too much for some one person to handle. You can't keep on doing it for so long. Maybe you can do it for a day, but that's like it. You can't do it for more than that.
Yes, you just can't. Yeah. Yes, you just can't study a lot. That's all. You just do not want to be a nerd in your entirety of your life. You just have to explore other interests as well. Sixth, difficult homework can lead them to malpractices such as asking siblings, maybe using ChatGPT, trying to cheat, try to have guides do their homework, etc. So you do not want to like have malpractices involved in your, let's say, doing your homework, etc. Great. This is something that we actually like similar motion that we did. I just want to discuss the arguments on both prop and op. And then we have done enough mocks and enough practices. And we can also join in the next few sessions as well for doubt clarifications, doubt clearation, all of these things. So yes, practice topic 2 is it better to learn from books or from internet? So proposition says it is better to learn from books. Opposition says it is better to learn from the internet. Arguments for proposition looks like this. So, always ensure that you have like arguments which are extremely strong and, you just have to do a trial test. Why is this true? Why is this untrue? Do you think opposition can rebut this? Do you think this argument is strong enough? All of these questions are important for you to run a dry test. Second, books create habit of reading and learning. We all agree. Second, books are credible sources of knowledge and information because, internet is genuinely like spreading false information. During COVID-19, how many of you got this message from WhatsApp that, you should do this, you should just apply this medicine, etc. So, it actually spread a lot of misinformation as opposed to giving you credible sources of knowledge. This looks like trying to sanitize your hand regularly as opposed to simply applying ointment, which might not fix you. Thirdly, books do not require internet or online access. You can remotely access them too. This looks like offline reading practices. Fourthly, online has a lot of distractions. People are on social media, they will keep scrolling through WhatsApp forwards, etc. Fifthly, books can be made interesting via pictures and graphics, which is why mangas or comic books or like magazines are so popular. Sixthly, in-depth knowledge through specialized books. So you have books for history, social science, computer science. You will have like finance, you will have economics, you will have self-improvement, you will have pop culture. All of these books actually give you specialized knowledge, which is, one book has 200 pages, but one article on internet might be 500 words long. So which mode do you prefer for more in-depth knowledge? Books, obviously. Because and every author has spent like more than 5 years writing one book, or maybe like over an year. So you're just trying to read a person's life work on a book, as opposed to trying to like look it up on internet, because internet usage is much more convenient, and we do not want to make our population lazy. Great. Arguments on opposition. First, books are boring, do not have graphics. Most of the novels don't have pictures. Second, books may have many editions. It is difficult to access all books for updated information. So, Harry Potter has had so many editions. And, sometimes I find it difficult to access like the 7th edition or this 5th edition, because, oftentimes it's difficult to access on internet as well. And, there are like no copies which are like available for many of the classic books. Like if you look at Sidney Sheldon, if you look at like Agatha Christie, all of these books are become non-available. And books also get rusty if you keep it in wardrobe for, let's say, 5-6 years. 3, books can be accessed online. Use Kindle, very like you save paper. 4th, books can get hefty, hence inconvenient. Like you already have a bag, and we do not want to have a bag which is like 2 kilo heavy. So we always need to carry students learn faster. How many of you use YouTube to understand chapters? Please raise your hand. So many. Amazing. Yes, so this is what the benefit of internets look like. 6th is internet is widely accessible and easy to use, as knowledge is just one click away. Obviously, like anybody can carry book, anybody can also carry internet. So, try to weigh this down, like try to put both these claims together, and in your reply speech, tell me which of this is much more important, and then you can probably win better. Yes, and thank you so much for coming to this session today. I will now be taking any and all doubts. Yes, just raise your hands for doubts. Did we understand the session? I hope you liked it. Yes, that's amazing. I will take any and all doubts now. Yes, I will take Ishanvi and then Trisha.
Ma'am, I have a question related to the opposition for the books and internet debate.
Yes, go ahead.
Ma'am, is it possible for you to show this slide?
Okay, I have. Okay, opposition. I'll just show it. Yes.
Ma'am, so most of these arguments are related to books. So wouldn't it be better to use these book arguments as a opposition for the proposition?
Can you repeat your question?
So like for the main opposition speech, wouldn't you use more of internet's strengths instead of books? Like
Yes, you can do either. You can either prove that books are absolutely like bad, or you can prove the benefits of internet. It's very advisable to use both. Prove that the other side is probably more harmful and the other side is weaker, but also prove that your sides have more benefits. Works well?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, so your research should be balanced. Krisha?
My internet was unstable, so I got disconnected.
Yeah, don't worry at all. We just got it covered. So thank you so much for the first constructive speech, though. Really nice. Dhriti?
Yeah, so I was just wondering, so you said that the proposition might have to predict what the opposition is going to say, but it can't always be perfectly accurate. So what happens when if we say something but the opposition doesn't say it, so what we say doesn't really make much sense.
Okay, yes. So, you have 3 minutes. So you don't have to spend 3 minutes trying to predict what the other side will say because your predictions can be incorrect. But I'm not saying that predict everything that they will say. This looks like try to say everything that they will verbatimly say. That's impossible. But you can generalize it. Maybe the opposition will say that, books are hefty. I will now preemptively reply that books are not hefty. They are basically a source of in-depth knowledge. So you've preemptively took their most generalized argument, which you can think on any rational person can think of any side, whatever opposition is speaking, because they're humans as well. So you take up generalized argument, try to rebut it, try to do it in the 30 seconds or do it in conclusion, I would say. Try to not compromise on your constructive speech.
Okay, thanks.
Yes. Any more other questions? Okay, I hope the format is clear. The training sessions continue. We will be repeating everything. We will be having more mocks and trainings. If you are free, if you're occupied, thank you so much for joining from 9th to 11th, which is today. And we will be seeing you. If you have any doubts, let us know. And yes, when does the meeting for seniors start? At 8 sharp, Arya. Yes. Just a second, let me just.
Thank you.